Jones here, one of the assistant heads at Bryn Tower. The purpose of this video is to share with you some of the results of our recent Parents Distance Learning Questionnaire. Thank you to everybody that filled in the questionnaire recently. After 10 weeks of distance learning, we really felt that it was important for us to get your voice and to hear your ideas on how things were going. And more importantly, maybe to share with you how we are going to adjust things and change a few things to make sure that we can give your child the best provision possible. So I'm going to share some of those results with you now. And as we go through, as I say, I'll tell you maybe how we're going to adjust things for the next few weeks and coming months. So we had nearly 220 of you filling in the questionnaire, which was wonderful, especially considering the fact that many of you are parents to more than one child within this school. Obviously, our Year 11 and Year 13 pupils have now moved on and they are preparing for the next challenges in their academic career. So this questionnaire really was focused towards those Year 7 to 10 pupils and Year 12. So as you can see, we have quite a cross-section of pupils being represented in this questionnaire, which is what we wanted really. The next question then focuses on how does your son or daughter access their online learning, and maybe one thing that we have taken out of this question is how many of our pupils use their smartphones to get that access. Now we've shared all these results with our staff, and I think there's something that we are going to have to really think about for the future is maybe how accessible the tasks that we are setting are. For example, can your children actually download documents or see everything properly if they are getting access to their work through their smartphone? So that's something that we really need to bear in mind when we set the tasks and the work from now on. Question 4 then was, how is your child coping with online learning? And average score 3.4 out of 5 is quite good. I think we're all facing different challenges. Everybody's circumstances are different, but on the whole, maybe the children are coping quite well. But obviously, we need to change things if you feel that we need to make sure that it's even easier maybe for them. The next question then was really important to us. How would you rate the help that has been available to get your children successfully logged in to Show My Homework and into their online learning? And we're very happy with the response that you gave us for this question, an average of nearly 3.8 out of 5. Obviously, when all this happened sort of 3 months ago, it was a very quick change around. We were trying to get everything organised, and hopefully any problems that you were facing when you did contact us at the very beginning, we were able to help you and to answer any questions that you might have had. And that goes as well for now pupils who have had laptops from the school, and hopefully that has also helped with the online learning. So we're really happy with this response. Obviously, if you're facing any problems in the future, that's all you need to do is to get in touch with us either through email or by phoning the school at any day of the week. The next question then is quite important to us. What is your opinion on the amount of work that your child receives every week? And as you can see here, 88 of you felt that there was too much, and I think as a staff we have now realised as well that maybe we are putting too many tasks, and the amount of work that we're actually putting on Show My Homework every day is too much. So I'll tell you later on now how we can adjust the timetable to make sure that possibly the workload is spread more evenly now throughout the week. The next question then, how would you generally rate the quality of online learning work that is set by the school? And we were also really happy with this score, actually nearly 3.7 out of 5. Obviously, many of you have suggested different ideas, and we're going to take those ideas on board and make the provision even better for you. But on the whole, we were very happy with this response. The next question then Does your child feel that the work they are set includes enough explanation on the subject? There's a variety of answers here. To some extent, yes, but as you can see there were 42 then that said, well, no, not really. There isn't really enough explanation. And I think one thing that's come out of the questionnaire quite strongly is for our non-Welsh speaking parents is that you do need more explanation through the medium of English that you then can help your children at home, and that's something that I'll talk about later on as well. So that's something that we've shared, as I said, with the staff now to make sure that the explanations that are given with the work are as clear as possible. Next question then was, has your child had any feedback on the work that they have completed? Again, variety of questions. Many of you said that yes, in nearly every subject they have had some kind of feedback, but maybe what we were concerned about were those that have said, well, no, they haven't really had much feedback in some of the subjects. So that's something that we're going to be working on in the next few weeks and months. I think it's true to say that obviously this online learning is very new to us as well as staff, and I think the way forward now is to really share good practice within the staff as to how we actually give feedback now to children to make sure that they know that they're on track and that they're doing well. The next question then, how much has your child enjoyed completing the online work? Obviously, we're all facing different challenges through this very strange time for us all. I'm not sure if we were going to get much higher than this, but it's nearly 3 out of 5, so we were quite happy with this score as well. Now, obviously, the most important things now for us is how we move on from here. We've collected your views, and the most important thing now is what we need to do to adjust our provision. Now, I've ranked these now in the order that were the most popular answers in the long answered questions and aspects that worked best for you at the moment. And that's really important for us to share with our staff. What came out quite strongly as the most popular answer was the instructions, how clear they were when they were bilingual, and preferably when they were recorded as well as written, then that was very good practice for you to help your children at home. And that's something we have now shared with all our staff, and hopefully you will have more of that in the next weeks and months to come. The next one then was the school timetable and, particular subjects setting work on particular days. But what did come out of that as well was that we obviously needed to do some adjustments to this timetable. Many of you said that Mondays and Fridays, especially for maybe year 7 and 8, were very heavy with workload, and we've adjusted the timetable now to try and spread that workload more evenly across the week. The next thing then was the school or teacher communication, and I think it's fair to say that this focus may be on pastoral matters alongside the academic work. So we are trying to get in touch with every single pupil, we're trying to get those check-ins, make sure that everything's okay, and when you were maybe contacting us in the school or asking for help, then we were actually communicating and making sure that the help was there. There might be things that we need to adjust with this as well, but it came out quite strongly, which is something that we were very happy with. With regards to the teams then, this came out quite strongly as well, and that's something that I'll talk about later on as well, but obviously teams as a platform, everything, all the resources and all the tasks are set in teams was quite popular with parents and pupils. Resources as well to make sure that you had handouts, or you had PowerPoint presentations, or you had leaflets and worksheets to go with the explanations and tasks that came out quite strongly, and online quizzes, so things that were actually marking the work for the children as they went along to make sure that they had some kind of feedback quite quickly and something that they maybe are enjoying as well with the online quizzes. Now, maybe the most important thing for us now were the aspects that weren't working quite so well, and these are the ones now. There are 5 in all, and I want to share with you what we're doing about this now in the foreseeable future, for the short term and for the long term. So the most obvious aspect that came out quite weekly, and something that you all maybe raised with us, were the inconsistencies in where the work was set. Now, some departments are in Teams, some are in Hope Classroom, some are communicated through email, and we understand completely that that can be very confusing for yourselves and for your children. I think it's fair to say that when the schools closed, every department, I think, jumped on the digital platform that they were familiar with and that they were confident with. And I think that's what happened in that short time that we had to actually get things moving. After 10 weeks, we now realise, we completely agree, that it would be so much easier for ourselves and for you if everything was in the same place. So all subjects will now be moving to Teams in the near future, definitely by September, hopefully before that. We'll still be using Show My Homework so that you know that there's work being set, so you'll still be having those notifications, but all the work and the resources and all the communication by every department will then be on Teams, so that everything is in the same place. So hopefully that will help in the next few weeks and months to come. The next thing then were the technical problems. Some of you were finding that you weren't being able to open documents or edit them or modify them. Many maybe didn't have printers at home and weren't able to print work or anything like that. So we are seeing now that technical problems can be a bit of an issue as well when it comes to online learning. What we decided is, in July, when pupils can return to school, anybody who will be coming into school, we will make sure that there are paper copies of all the digital work that we are setting. So every department is now going to create some kind of pack, and the pupils then will have the option of actually doing the work on paper rather than doing everything on the computer, which we all realise as well is not the healthiest of for their physical and mental health. Is not ideal either that they're in front of a computer all day. If your child is not going to attend the school for whatever reason, we will mail those packs out to you, and then there'll be an option for your children at home as well to do the work on paper rather than having to do everything online. I'd also like to make sure that you're all aware of the ICT support videos. Mr. David Fletcher, our head of ICT, has been creating these videos, especially around Teams, and making sure that you understand how to get to the work. So they're all available on our school YouTube website, and the links are also on our website too. So if you are having any problems with getting access to the work, I would really recommend that you go and have a look at those videos. So it's 3 left then. The next thing was feedback. I've talked about this already. As I said, we've raised this point with all heads of departments now, and we've also set up a distance learning working group. So there's a bunch of staff and we all get together every week, and our focus now for the next few weeks and months will be sharing good practice on how we give feedback to pupils online. Obviously, we are used to marking in books, most of us, so this is all quite new to us as well. So we're going to be sharing good practice and making sure that we're doing that across every department, so we can give your pupils or your children the best feedback possible on their work. The next thing then is obviously for you as non-Welsh speaking parents, the lack of bilingual explanations, and obviously that's creating challenges for you and not being able to help your children the way that you would want. So this is what we are going to do in the foreseeable future. We're going to encourage every department now to make sure that all their instructions are bilingual. Many of you were asking for live lessons of some kind. We are in the process of creating guidelines for our staff so that live lessons of some kind will be possible during the next few weeks. Obviously, the personal circumstances of every member of staff is different. Many of us are with young children at home and we're trying to teach our own children and do the distance learning for our pupils. So it might not be possible with every member of staff, but where it's not possible to have live lessons, we will encourage every staff to record the instructions so that they can go through them and that your children can hear our voices going through the instructions as well. And when we are recording, we'll try and make sure that some of that explanation as well will be bilingual so that you understand the basics of the tasks. So hopefully that will all help in some way to make sure that your children are understanding and the explanations are there for them. And then the last thing then that many of you put in the questionnaire, that there was too much work. And as I said earlier, we've adjusted the timetable now. We've changed Mondays and Fridays, especially. They were too heavy. Many subjects now will be only setting work every fortnight rather than every week. And we've reinforced the message to all heads of departments to really consider the nature of the tasks that they are putting and the volume of work that they are setting when they are setting tasks for your children. So those messages are loud and clear and they have gone out now to every head of department. So hopefully this new timetable will help in some way as well. And just to give you an idea then, we've moved English, for example, for year 7 and 8 out of Monday. English is now on a Wednesday with humanities. We've actually changed on Fridays, as you can see there. Music and drama will be setting work 1 week, and then art and PE, sorry, that's meant to say, art and PE then will be setting work on the other week. So they'll be alternating weeks when they are setting week. So hopefully that's spread the workload a bit better across the week. And that's it really. It's just a quick presentation for you, for us to share those results with you, and more importantly to tell you what we're doing about it. We would really like to thank you for your continued support. I know these times have been challenging for all of us, but on behalf of the school, you know, our community as a school is so strong, and I know as we prepare for the next few weeks and the months to come, I know that we will support each other through this. So we will be doing some kind of distance learning for some time to come, I think, and therefore hopefully these changes now will help your children. Anything else that you feel that we need to do or adjust or to change, please get in touch with us either through phoning the school or through emailing Mr Davis as the head or any member of staff. Felly, diolch yn fawr, thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you soon.